it's been crazy. So let me just give you guys a backstory of what has been happening with me and getting a vaccine. I am really, really interested in getting vaccinated. Like, I don't have any issues with, taking a vaccine or anything, but it's been really difficult for me. For some people, it's been easy for some reason. Like, they just walk into their primary health center and they get vaccinated. But for me, I work 9 to 5 Monday to Fridays, and my company has not even told us, you guys take the day off, go get vaccinated and all. Aside that, that's not a problem for me, because I can always just, take permission and go get vaccinated. Another thing, disclaimer, please, I am not an essential worker. I know. I am not also elderly. I know. But the story I heard and why I'm so eager to go and get the vaccine and all is because what people told me is because people say that the health workers, essential workers, and other people, like elderly people, they've taken the vaccine. That's what I heard. I know that's not true. I know that for elderly people, I'm not sure they've taken the vaccine, but for health workers and politicians and people who the vaccine is meant for, I think they've taken the vaccine. But what I heard is that there is an excess and there is no one to take it, so they're just giving it to people for free. Now, when the news of vaccine coming to Nigeria broke, there was a link that was circulated around. I got it from a friend, and then I registered. So I got a number. So my primary health center is just I think 3 streets away from me or more, but it's in my area, it's in my vicinity, so I can always go there. So yesterday I wanted to go get the vaccine, okay? And then I called someone who I knew had gotten the vaccine, thinking that he got the vaccine from, our mutual primary healthcare center. Turns out that he went there to get the vaccine and they asked him to pay 100,000 naira. I'm not making this up. They asked him to pay for the vaccine. He said people were paying and getting the vaccine and just, it was okay to pay. I was like, no, it's not okay. It's not fine. I can't pay. He was like, oh, calm down. However, somebody told him to go to the mainland, to Bagada, to go get vaccinated, and that it's free. You just walk in and there's a little queue, you take a number, you wait for your turn, and then you get the vaccine. And that was what he did, and he got his own yesterday. I was like, okay, I'm just going to go get the vaccine, and I can't even go down to Badore because somebody was telling me, oh, she got hers in Badore and it was also free, and it's just walk in, get a number, if there's a queue, and then you take the vaccine, you wait for an hour for them to check if you are having any immediate adverse effect, and if you're fine, you can go. So I now have a choice to either go down to Badore, of which I'm not sure, or go to Bagada, of which somebody has even called somebody for me to ask if there are vaccines available for me to take. So according to the person said, this is a health worker though. This health worker said that, yes, I can come get the vaccine, but I should come on Monday. I was saying, no, I will go on Thursday, when I can, since that's my office enough, and tell them that, yeah, I'm going to go get the vaccine. But he said that the number they have right now, he's not sure would last until Thursday. So if I'm going to get the vaccine, I should come on Monday. All right, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go down to Bagada on Monday. Alright guys, situation reports. We got here by 5:38ish and we just started writing our names. We started coordinating ourselves. We wrote our names down. I was number 6 on the list. And then I'm wearing my mask because you are supposed to wear a mask or something, yeah. I'm sitting right in front of the actual COVID isolation center. Very funny, and it's so beautiful, but nobody wants to be there, right? Okay, so the first coordinator came. She came around like 6:30, and she took our lists that we were writing for ourselves, and then she started calling people's names. So how they do it is you have to be eligible. We have the old people, the people who work in the judicial system, policemen, people who work in the military, and all that. So those people are considered priority, and then you get to get an earlier number. Okay. And then you get to get an earlier number than other people. So they're going to be taking 2 people who are eligible and then 1 person who is ineligible to take the vaccine, who is non-priority. Okay, so I fall under I'm eligible to take the vaccine. I didn't even know I was until I got here, and then the whole process got explained to me. So your girl is eligible and I'm taking this vaccine today. Okay, I'm currently number 3 based on the fact that I'm eligible. Even food vendors are eligible. Can you imagine? Food vendors, pharmacists, health workers generally are eligible. Drivers are eligible. I'm telling you, like, drivers are eligible. So if you're a driver also, come down and come, or you send your drivers to come and take their own vaccine. I want to eat right now. Before we take the vac, they advise that we eat something. Why did everyone mask throughout this video? I don't know. But I need, give me food. Send food. I brought food from my house. Finally, this is over 24 hours since we took the vaccine, and I just wanted to come on here and just give you guys an update and just, wrap up this video. I feel so tired on the inside because I barely had any sleep last night. My husband, Innocent, was terribly sick after, taking the vaccine. So let me just give you guys a backstory, like from when we came back till presently, like currently. So we came back, and the first thing I did was to like prepare a heavy lunch for us because I didn't want us to be hungry at all. I just didn't want us to be hungry at all. So I just prepared like a really heavy lunch of semovita, and we had that. While we were having that, Innocent was actually working, and I just felt like he was fine. I had slight headache and I was a bit weak. But that's to be expected, right? Like, we're told at the vaccination center that we're going to have these side effects. Like, we're going to have some side effects. It could be worse in others. It could be minimal in some people. So I was expecting that. My husband was also like having that slight headache and a slight weakness, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, he was working, right? So I was okay. And after eating, I just had to sleep because I began to feel really weak. So I had to sleep. I woke up and my husband was still working. But around like 5:30, he also decided to like take a break and rest. So he just lay down and started sleeping also. So when he woke up, he was telling me about how his chest, was hurting. And I was like, I remember that, when you take the AstraZeneca vaccine, some people have complained. If you've done your research about the AstraZeneca vaccine, some people have actually complained about blood clots And when a blood clot travels to the heart, it blocks blood supply. And I don't know, I was just having these crazy feelings about this whole thing. So I was a bit scared, and I turned to Dr. Google, which is a bad idea. I should have just called, our doctors, but I just went to Dr. Google. I don't know why. I don't know why I just went to Dr. Google first of all. However, he said that his chest was feeling cold, and that was not even, part of the symptoms of having a blood clot, like coldness in the chest. So I wasn't really bothered after that. So I just decided that, he'll be fine. And an hour after that, he began to tell me about how he was shivering and how he was feeling cold and hot at the same time. So he went to wear 2 shirts because he was really feeling cold. And then he took the duvet. He covered himself with the duvet. So I just knew that, okay, this is really serious. So I went to make him hot ginger tea. Now, the ginger tea, he actually held the mug for like 15 minutes. The tea actually cooled down a lot before he drank it, but he felt good after drinking it. So I felt like, okay, like this is okay. I was wrong. After drinking the tea, he couldn't sleep. The fevers became really bad. It became worse, in fact, and he was really weak. Like he couldn't even stand up to go, take a pee or something. For some time, I was really scared, like, gosh, what's happening? We shouldn't have just taken this vaccine. We shouldn't have even taken this thing. Okay, for painkillers, right? Because people are like, when you start feeling the symptoms, or before you start feeling the symptoms, you should just take, like, painkillers, take Panadol or paracetamol just to help with the fever and the headaches and the pains and everything. Innocent can't take like painkillers. He can't take a high dose of painkillers because of his allergies. So instead of taking 1,000 milligrams, he took 500, and I actually have to keep watching him even after he has taken the 500 because I want to be sure that he's not even reacting to the painkillers. Okay, so it was not funny. It was really crazy, and after he took the painkillers, there was no improvement in his condition. It just got worse. His fever, his body was hot. His fever really rose badly, and I was super scared. Like, I was so scared. And that was when I decided that I was just going to give him a cold, towel bath. So I got, cold water with some ice in it. I had a towel in the water, and then I'll squeeze it and just put it on his head, put it at the back of his neck, and every other place that he would actually let me touch with the cold towel, because he was actually shivering, but I knew that I had to just bring down that heat, because that heat won't be funny. It could lead to a stroke, so I had to just make sure that I brought down that heat. Okay, so as soon as I did the cold compress, his nostrils actually cleared out, so he was now breathing properly. And I was so happy about that, because that would mean that, he's not having issues with breathing, with the headaches that he's having, with the cold, the fever, the weakness and everything. At least he's breathing properly. So I was really happy about that. And guess what? This guy was still making jokes even when he was sick. This guy was still making jokes. He was talking about how he hopes that the fever, because he was hot all over his body, including those other areas. So he was like, I don't want anything to happen there because it's so hot. What if it kills all my children and it kills this? Oh, God. I was like, guy, you are sick. Why are you thinking about all this? You are sick. And, he was still making jokes. So I was like, okay, his head is still there and he would come out of this. So I continued the periodic cold bath with the towels for hours. He couldn't sleep because he was so uncomfortable. I also even forgot about my own issues because yeah, I was having headache, yeah, I was weak, but it was not as bad as his own, issues. So I had to just forget about mine and concentrate on him because he was seriously sick. Okay, so I continued the cold bath with the towels. His fever actually lasted for 9-10 hours because I remember that his fever broke like around 3 a.m. in the morning, and I was awake with him and making sure that he was fine. And his fever broke, and he felt instantly better once the fever broke. He had his own body now produced sweat that just cooled down his body, and the fever just went away. But the headache, oh my gosh, the headache was so bad that he was literally tearing up. Like, when the first time he teared up, I was like, "Are you okay? Like, why are you crying?" He was like, "No, that he's not crying. Like, the headache was so terrible that he was real tears. Like, real tears were just and they were hot. They were hot tears. They were just coming out. So the only thing that remained after his fever broke was the headache and the general body weakness. But after his fever broke, he instantly got like 50 times better. So that was when he was able to sleep. I was also able to sleep. And this morning when we woke up, he was okay. He's still having the fever. He's still having the weakness. But, as time passes, he just gets, much more better. So I'm happy. And also just wanted to say that not everybody would experience this because I also took the vaccine and I'm fine. If by today I needed to be somewhere and I had a good night's sleep last night, I would definitely be up and running and nobody would even know I took the vaccine yesterday. So this talk about, you'd fall sick and you would be really, really sick, it might not happen to everybody because I am totally fine. I'm totally fine. I just had a slight headache, slight weakness, and I'm completely fine. The only thing that I know that would last for some time is the body weakness because I have slept like 3 times today. I sleep, I'll wake up, I'll sleep, I'll wake up. But it's not that bad at all. Like, it's not that bad. I think it's because it's even because I'm at home and that's why I can sleep, wake up, sleep, and wake up. If I was out, maybe in my office, I wouldn't be. So I just feel like you just keep your fingers crossed when you go take the vaccine, okay? It might not happen to you. For everybody that I know that have taken the vaccine, at least I know over 7 people that have taken the vaccine, they fell sick. They were sick. They were really, really sick. I mean, one of my friends was like, get ready for the, side effects. And even when by yesterday I was saying, I still feel good. They're like, okay, wait until 24 hours. You don't worry, you fall sick. Here I am. I'm fine. What's the time now? This is 3:28, and I'm completely fine. So it's been over 24 hours since I took the vaccine and I'm completely fine. Yeah, so when it comes to the AstraZeneca vaccine, people have had their doubts. People have been telling me about, you would, the blood clot situation. Some countries have actually stopped giving their citizens the AstraZeneca vaccine. Like countries in Europe and Canada is also considering, halting the distribution of the vaccine because of the blood clot situation. But I feel like, you have to do your research. 1 in 100 people would actually get the blood clot. And, 1 in 100,000 people actually. 1 in 100,000 people would get the blood clot. So this doesn't mean that everyone who takes the vaccine will automatically just get, a blood clot. I don't think there's anything to be scared of, honestly, when it comes to taking the vaccine. And you know how governments are and propaganda and all that. I'm really not bothered about the AstraZeneca vaccine, honestly. I took it. I've been fine. I've been okay. Been eating well, sleeping well. I've been good. basically. I've been good. I only just felt so sorry for Innocent. Like, I just felt too bad that he was going through that. It was crazy. When I say it was crazy, it was crazy. I had to start like thinking about people who had COVID, and for those who have survived, like, you are strong. And for those who didn't survive, I don't, of course you can't blame someone that has died, but you went like those people went through a lot before they actually died. It's crazy, and I don't want anybody to go through that. So if in your country they are giving out the COVID vaccine, please go and get vaccinated. Moderna, Pfizer, AstraZeneca, just go get vaccinated, please. And for those of us here in Nigeria, we've been blessed to, number one, have a reduced number of people who are actually contracting the virus every day. We have tried to contain it, and we've done a good job containing this virus. Secondly, the vaccine is available. Go to your primary healthcare center and go and get vaccinated, because the fact that I've been vaccinated doesn't mean that I am completely safe. I still have to wear my mask when I go out. I still have to sanitize my hands. I still have to avoid crowded places. And we have to take 2 doses. So this is just the first dose. So I've not yet achieved that full immunity that would just, say, oh yeah, I'm immune. I just think that if there's one thing, that we've really done well as a country in Nigeria, is containing this virus and having the vaccine available. Please go get vaccinated. Our government has done well. Okay, so let me quickly show you guys what my vaccination site looks like right now. That's what the vaccination site looks like. Just a pain. It's still really tender and it's still painful, actually. I'll just close by saying, please go get vaccine and just let's achieve herd immunity together, so that in the summer you can be lounging on the beach in the Bahamas and have not one care in the world. So that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. If you really like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.